We're jumping right into it today, boys. So today I have not one, but two gaming laptops that I am going to be maintaining because their owners are very responsible. And they said, you know what, these are getting old and they're starting to overheat, and I want somebody like the greatest technician that's ever lived to maintain them for me, to do some thermal maintenance. Thermal maintenance. Which means changing the paste, blowing the gooch out of the vents, stealing some toothbrushes, I don't know whose yet. So we have an Acer Nitro and we have an Asus ROG something or other. So I'm gonna start with the Acer Nitro. Neither of these look to be in bad condition. They actually look like they were what the f is that?
Well.
I spoke too soon. What is it? Should I touch it? But before I do anything, I want to test the temperatures, establish a baseline so I know if I actually made a difference when I replace the thermal paste and the thermal putty, which is going to be a problem because I don't have enough thermal putty for both of these until Amazon comes. Until Jeff Bezos rides down in his chariot, coked out of his mind, and gives me some Upsiren thermal putty.
Yes.
All right, it booted right up. Oh, we can't show his name, their name. Do we have a pin? Did they give us a pin?
I don't think they gave us a pin.
What I remember on the request is he wants me to open up some Steam games in his library and play them and experience the problem that he's having, which is throttling, I believe.
Speaking about throttling, what's up with your shirt?
It's what's for dinner. If he wants me to get into the Steam library and I don't have a pin to log in, which I'm gonna check right here if we have a pin, and we don't. So we have no pin. I'll text him right now. We're in. I got the pin. So now we're gonna download Benchmate. You guys know the deal. Benchmate is a program that includes a bunch of programs. So the programs are HWinfo, Cinebench, so that you have benchmarking programs, you have thermal monitor programs, all sorts of programs, Benchmate. And it's free, completely free.
Nothing's free in this world.
That's true. It costs your life.
Not even me.
It costs your soul. So good for you, it's free. Because we already sold our souls to Jeff Bezos and his golden chariot. And since this is a Acer Nitro, I believe it has Nitro Sense. So if we press this button here, what do you think's gonna happen?
Probably explode. Oh.
Nitro Sense. I actually love Nitro Sense. The more control you have over your device, the better. The less control a corporation has over your device, the better.
Because being spied on is creepy. But the reality is, we're all spied on by corporations who collect our info and sell it to basically any company that wants to make money off of it. And though most countries do have laws to remove ourselves from these lists, doing so is so involved and time-consuming, barely any of us take advantage of it. Cause let's be real, ain't nobody got time for that. Thankfully, services like Incogni exist, which is a personal information removal service. It's something my wife and I have been using for a few months now, and I'm proud to have them as today's video sponsor. Because this is personal to me. A few years ago, my wife's identity was compromised and someone filed unemployment benefits under her name. We had to freeze her credit, change her cards, and do a ton of other time-consuming steps. It was an incredibly stressful process that took countless hours and cost us hundreds in lost revenue. But the best way to prevent this from happening in the first place is to have your personal information removed before malicious actors can exploit it, which is exactly what Incogni does. All you do is sign up, which takes like 10 seconds, then Incogni sends requests to these data brokers and follows up until the job is done. And if one of the brokers starts giving lip or is dragging their feet, Incogni hounds them like a crazy ex until the job is done and you're taken off these lists. They provide updates and you can see their progress reports every month so you can actually see your data being reclaimed. And these brokers aren't just using your data to send you annoying spam emails or non-stop robocalls, which have become the norm of today. They're selling your info to those creepy people's search sites, where your info is at the mercy of stalkers and weirdos that want to know where you keep your toothbrush at night. Even health insurance companies will buy this data and use your web history to raise your premiums, which just puts a cherry on top of this dystopian hellscape that is web privacy. Incogni doesn't let this slide, so whenever a new record pops up on a data broker site, they'll automatically take care of it by conducting repeated removal requests so your data stays off this sketchy market for as long as you use the service. So if you're interested in taking back your privacy, use code TEXPERTS at the link below to get an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan, and watch as they fight sketchballs to take back your privacy.
So this one's set to auto HWinfo. Here we go, babies. The CPU fan is hauling ass though, so get out of here. Oh God. Christ almighty. This is why why don't you fix computers on live stream? That's why. iCloud.txt. Let's have that leak on the internet. So it's on default now. I'm gonna exit out and I'm going to play one of his games. To do that, I need to connect to the internet first. We'll be right back. The games he wants us to play, Balatro, Frostpunk, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Have you ever heard of Balatro? Balatro?
But I've heard of Oblivion, dude. That's what started it all for me, being a thief.
Is that where all my RAM's going? I noticed a few sticks gone. So let's start with Balatro. I'm gonna get so much hate in the comments because I don't know. I vaguely remember that game winning like a bunch of awards this year.
Is that the one where you were two frogs trying to cross the street?
Two frogs trying to fuck. Okay, we're in Balatro. What is this? Is this a card game?
This is a solitaire.
Oh man, this isn't Vegas poker. I don't know what I'm doing here. I got trips, my guy. That's gotta be something.
Play your hand.
What am I gonna dip out on? Are you winning, son?
I think we're losing.
I don't know what's going on here, man. Hi, my name is Michael Scott. There's no way his name's Michael Scott. Game over. I'm literally a fool. What's your excuse? Let's get out of here. I'm done with this game. So we hit 93C, and we did thermal throttle. Now that seems like a lot for a game that looked like dog shit. So let's run Cinebench R23 and let's see what happens here. And that's not even on performance, that was just on default. So I'm guessing on performance this thing's gonna overheat. Now I'm leaving it flat on the desk because that's probably how the customer is going to have it. Of course I recommend lifting up the back of it, having it elevated like that, and not getting kicked out of the MSI booth like we did at CES because I touched the laptop, never forget.
Hey, stop!
You can't touch that! Clowns. All right, let's start the CPU multi-core test. Oh yeah, we're whirring up. You hear those jet engines, bud? That wasn't too bad. We didn't even hit more than like 80 degrees Celsius, but it wasn't on max settings. So that means there's performance here that can be unlocked. What I'm gonna do, Nitro Sense, going to put it on performance. I'm gonna leave the fans on auto. He probably doesn't like the fans being loud. Which, listen, if you buy a Lamborghini and the engine is loud, deal with it. You bought a Lamborghini, like that's the point. The thing needs to say cool. So, boom, I'm gonna start multi-core again. You guys saw the score. I hope Lupe got the score on there.
I hope I did.
And now those fans are kicking and now I'm seeing the thermal throttle. So it hit 100 degrees Celsius. Now let's see if it maxes, if it levels out and those fans are going ham skis.
I don't think I've ever heard a fan go that loud before.
Yeah, Nitro goes loud. And they should, man, because the fans are trying to cool down the system, and the cooler the CPU is, the more performance you can get. The more wattage you can give it, the more performance you get. But people don't like that. But why'd you buy a gaming laptop? I never understood that, dude.
Computer's loud, can't work.
Buy a desktop.
I think the same amount of money they buy a desktop, with a laptop, they can buy a desktop.
I understand why people buy gaming laptops. That's a comment I see all the time on the YouTube. On the YouTube! Why don't you just buy a desktop? This is why. I'm gonna go somewhere and I can game, right? I can bring this anywhere I want and I can game on it. Or if I'm an architect or an engineer or something and I require big GPU or whatever, I have it with me. That's why I don't understand those comments that say buy a desktop. If you don't need the portability, buy a desktop. If you require the portability, buy a laptop. If you need something high powered, buy a ThinkPad P series or from SalemTechSperts.com. The score is shit. Look at this. 98, we were at 10 something before. And that is probably because it throttled for too long. Too long didn't watch, it throttled for too long, and now we have a lower score than it was when it was on normal. And that's why sometimes when you undervolt your CPU on a laptop, you'll actually get higher performance. Hold on, we're gonna do this, I'm gonna take this charger, and I'm gonna show you the difference it'll make if I just elevate it just a little. Now let's try that one more time. A significantly higher score.
Yes.
Significantly higher score.
Definitely a higher score.
See? Just a little elevation. Because for some reason, I'll give Acer credit on their design, but also, why aren't gaming laptop manufacturers making like little tabs or something to raise the bottom? It blows my mind, dude. It's been how many years we've been dealing with this problem, they still haven't done that. It's nuts. Whereas like the old ThinkPads, or the old Toshibas, doesn't even have to be a ThinkPad. The IBMs, they all had little tabs that lifted up the base. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm putting it back onto default, taking it off performance. I'm gonna start it one more time with the bottom lifted up. This is the worst score of all, 9545. So who knows what's going on here. Now that we have a baseline, it is time to replace the paste. So a few screws, you guys know the deal. You've seen enough Acer Nitros on this channel to know how to replace the paste. Oh yeah, that's good.
What's wrong with this guy?
This is nasty. You know what's ironic though? No. The hair is only in the fans. The hair did not make it to the vents. The vents are completely clean. I can see through it. Yeah, you're gonna switch it up.
Yeah, you do.
So the vents Look at the vents. The vents are completely clean, but the fans caught all the dust, which is interesting because these are the intake vents, this and this here. Why don't these on the outside have this mesh? Why is this mesh here where there's no intake? There's minimal intake right here. Engineers, is the flow restriction from this mesh that significant that you can't put them on over this? Let me know in the comments.
Well, I know the ThinkPads, they have those meshes over the fan.
Of course, because it's ThinkPad.
You know what I'm saying?
It's...
Now, what I like about the Acer Nitro is just how simple it is to work on. The thermal paste doesn't look too bad, but the thermal putty has definitely seen better days. But by far the biggest issue is the amount of gooch stuck in the fan blades. And where there's gooch, there's...
I'm the gooch collector, bitch. You know what it is. Scrubbing dust with a brush that I stole from your kids. Ask your mom about my wrist. Ask your wife about her boyfriend. I'm the greatest in this biz. Enough dust over Portland. I'm the gooch collector, bitch. I'm the gooch collector, bitch. Bitch. Blowing dust is a must. Make your tech clean to run it over with a bus. Fuck. Got fingers like a raccoon. You're a noisy back, that's just me and you.
Yeah, dude, you fucking bent like a coat hanger. So the thermal putty is in place, as you can see. And the next step is to put some PTM 7950 on these bad boys. You guys have seen this before, you know the deal. Do a little outline for it. I'm a sculptor. Woo, that was tough, man. It's always a struggle putting on this stuff. Okay, we did it though.
Looks like
We did
fresh
it.
bubble gum, baby.
It does. You know, the only reason I don't do jokes about tasting is because I'm afraid to get demonetized. Because God forbid some fucking stupid kid on YouTube. Because there's plenty.
He told me to do it.
He told me to do it.
Jeff Bezos.
And now it is time for the heatsink to go on. There we go.
Splash down.
Woo! That's stressful. Now time for the fans.
No abanicos.
See, everything looks good. And we are ready to go. So last thing, of course, is to plug the battery back in. Use these tiny raccoon paws. Okay, so we booted up. We're at 54 currently. 61 maximum is what we hit. So we're gonna go into Cinebench R23 and we are going to test this again. We're gonna do a few tests just like we did last time, a flat test and then when it's a little elevated test. And this is without performance mode, so this is just normal mode. Woo, look at that, baby! 12.020. And it did not throttle. It didn't throttle. We are doing good. That's a good one. I'm sorry, it did throttle. I lied. It did initially hit a throttle. It happened, but the max was only 93. That's good.
Compared to before?
Compared to before, yes. So now, what we're gonna do is elevate it and run that test again, just to see how much difference it makes. Woo! Lupe's knees, man. God.
Send the cash out, get some fish oil.
Get a load of that. 12.431. So now let's put it on high performance. We're gonna hit that nitro button and performance. 12.104 with the fans on max and the performance mode on. And that's it. We did a good job. So now we're gonna clean it up with cat urine. And I never wanna do that again because that took a very long time for those thermal pads.
Look at that terry cloth.
That's cat urine cloth.
Oh yeah. It looks brand new.
Brand new. Don't worry,
Now
that's
it looks even newer.
even newer. We're good to go. This is getting shipped out and now it is time for this. And I'm not gonna do the same testing. All I'm gonna do on this one is replace the paste. This is going to be a pain in the ass because these things have a lot of thermal pads on them. But now you see all these MOSFETs and stuff? All those have thermal pads underneath them. Oh, or thermal putty. And that sucks. That means we have to replace every single one with thermal putty. So I'm not looking forward to that. But, you know, I can't complain too much because this is a very nice laptop. And thankfully Asus did build this quite well. What's gonna happen if I, what do you think's gonna happen?
Blow up.
Nothing. We can't be that predictable. Disconnect the fan. Fan disconnected, and then this fan, there it is. This used to be therapeutic until you start doing it 600 times a day and then it becomes a hassle.
What are your opinions on of taking this on, you know, professionally?
Yeah, well, you're looking at it. Oh, they use liquid metal on these.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And it has scorched the heatsink.
Jeez.
Yep, look
I
at
can
that.
smell that.
That's exactly why I don't like liquid metal.
It smells like sulfur.
You smell like ass. All right, so this, I can't hide my dismay. I can't even act. Liquid metal, I hate liquid metal. I cannot stand liquid metal. It's not worth it, dude. The cleanup isn't worth it. It scorched the CPU and the GPU, as you can see. It scorched the heatsink. Liquid metal isn't worth it, dude. Just phase change pads like PTM 7950 are the future. I hate liquid metal, man. Fuck liquid metal. But now I have to remove the liquid metal. So I'm using 99% isopropyl alcohol and a cotton ball. And I have to be very gentle because I can't afford a single drop of liquid metal to come off of the CPU or the GPU and end up on the on any part of the motherboard. So I'm gonna have to go through like 26 cotton balls. Did I tell you I hate liquid metal?
That's what you call some grade A burns.
It's just not worth it, man. This will tell me if there's any left behind. Which there's not. That CPU is cooked, man. Yeah, this one's the tricky one. Because it has that ring to capture the liquid metal so it doesn't spill over onto the board. I would not recommend doing this at home, 100%. Do not do this at home. If you're not used to these, don't fuck with liquid metal at home. Don't try to clean out. If your laptop has liquid metal, don't fuck with it because you can break your shit very easy. And I'm the biggest proponent of saving money by doing your own shit, but this is a disaster waiting to happen. Oh man, that was sketchy. That was a legitimate butthole clencher.
Oh yeah.
Look how scorched that is. That's fucked. And now I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 45 chips I have to repaste. Pray for me. Your thoughts and prayers did nothing. Next up is to do the heat sink because we gotta remove the liquid metal from the heat sink.
That shit is burnt to shit.
It's so fucked. Oh, man. Why don't you take repairs in anymore? I'm gonna throw this fucking thing at the wall. One last little scrub-a-dub-dub. And now liquid metal is gone. But that heatsink is scorched, so hopefully it performs okay. I don't feel anything. I don't feel any like indents or anything, so hopefully it performs the same as it did. The hard part is gonna be the damn thermal putty. And this needs thermal putty. From the factory, this did not have enough thermal putty on it. You can already see it barely made contact with a lot of these chips it didn't even make contact. This is actually ridiculous. Look at this, man. Look at this. Now that I look closer.
Ah, balls.
Balls. Look at that one doesn't even have like 25% coverage. Look at this.
They cut costs.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Look at this one. Holy fuck. Come on, man. I can't even make jokes. I mean, this is so fucking frustrating. I can't even make jokes about this. How are you gonna sell a laptop in that condition without even... Look at this. This doesn't make contact to that didn't make contact to anything.
It's like a shitty ass line they just use.
And I understand some of it's left on there, some of it's left on here, but you can see where it was previously, and clearly it was barely touching it right there. You wonder why IT guys are so fucking angry all the time.
I do drugs.
It would have been cool to know what the temperatures were before and after, but unfortunately I just don't have time for it. Sorry, guys. All right, it's gooch time. It's gooch time. Come here, baby.
Time. Speed.
The great gooch reveal. Underwhelming.
Yeah.
Underwhelming. How about this one? Oh, it's a stanka.
Ooh.
Yeah, still not bad.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Oh wow, look at it float away.
Ooh, it's
like-
warm out
It
here.
smells like weed. What the hell? Did this die? No, it's on. Box. Fans are clean, and now it is time to do this thermal putty. I'm not gonna do this on camera because this is gonna take me like 2 hours. We'll check in a minute. We are finished. Every single one of these chips, I had to individually get a little ball of thermal putty, up siren thermal party. I'm gonna stop talking. So now we're gonna put the heatsink back in, line it up. You guys know the deal, I've already done this. Oh, and there's PTM on the CPU and GPU, by the way.
I said, here I am.
My arthritis is kicking up. Better job than Asus, man. Better job than Asus. That was it.
The borrowers.
A ghost. This was a rough one, Lupe. If this is tough for me with my fingers, dude. Holy crap, how the hell do they eat? Can you even see? You can let it go. Can you see how small this is?
Yeah, it's tiny. Like my thing.
Them. All right, last step is to clean it. Sploogin.
Oh, yeah.
Sploogy McSploogerton.
What are you watching there, son? Nothing.
Whatever it is. It looks like he probably had a label on there realistically and he peeled it off.
I don't know.
So let's get some 99 on here. All right, so we got that. Beautiful. Oh, I turned it on by accident.
Oh, my knee.
My knees. Probably gonna take a second because we did unplug the battery.
Take a second. Ding.
Ba, 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 ba. When the hip in the him, ha, jabba him, ha, scabba numma, ha, scabba dabba da. When the him and the head, who, scoopa dabba da, scoopa dabba da, scoopa dabba da.
Need the password. Set the password.
Ow! Torn ACL out for the season.
No, P52 and now share the same bottom.
They don't share the same bottom?
No.
Me and Lupe share the same bottom.
Hell yeah.
That's you.
Bottoms up, baby.
Wait, what?
Advertisement. Ads. You gotta think about the ads, man. It's all about the ads.
Was it not the red button?